what we'll do is get up to here, see where they're kind of ramping up. On all muskrat houses, there's like a ramp they're using to go up to the top, drop stuff off, eat on top of the house, all that. So get my stick in there so I don't lose it. And I have my pack basket, which makes this pretty easy. If it goes in the water, it don't matter. And then I use just these little orange stakes, which I spray paint orange so I remember where they are if I do lose them, or if you're checking out at night, it helps as well. Over here is the obvious sign of where they're kind of running up. There's also one on the opposite side, so we'll probably set two on this house. I'll set this one nice and deep. Basically what you're doing is you're just trying to hold them here until they dispatch in the water, because once they get caught, they're just going to run off. You can use like #1 coils, #1 long springs, stuff like that, which I do have as well. So we have our 1.5 coil right here. It's nice to have that extra weight, as it'll help dispatch them quicker compared to like a #1. So if I do have 1.5s that I can use for this, I do go ahead and use them. But if I have to, I'll use ones, especially in deeper water. They're just as useful, but since this is kind of shallower, I want to make sure that they do get dispatched quickly, since I don't want them to be moving around too much. And for this one, I don't really have a nice connection, so I'll just use this bit of wire here. We'll move our trap down to here, make sure it still gives enough line, and boom. Muskrats are easy. They're gonna go ahead, get stuck. They're gonna be like, uh-oh, run off, dispatch in the water. We'll go ahead and time lapse the rest of these, since you guys don't need to be sitting here watching me put out 4 more of them. And yeah, if you guys have questions, let me know. And it looks like we got one right here in that very first trap that we put out. So just a nice size, not too big, you know, just an average mill rat. We'll go ahead, toss this buddy right up there for right now. Got that trap reset, nothing fancy. Get this back in there so it's not going anywhere. Set this trap just like before. You'll go ahead, get stuck just like that other one did. So we got this nice rat right here. The other side doesn't have anything, I already checked it. We'll go ahead and move on to the next house, see if we got anything over there. So we're here at the next set for the muskrats. I don't see the actual trap anywhere, so we'll just cautiously pull this up, see if we got anything. And yep, much bigger rat. Toss him right up there. This wind blowing is nice because it keeps all these like biting flies out of here, but it kind of make it difficult because I'm fighting against it the whole time. So we got the rat right there. Go ahead, get this trap reset for us. So we got that. We'll set it right back where she was. Rinse and repeat, hopefully get another. Yeah, nice mature muskrat. We'll go ahead and get him in the pack basket and keep moving. We made it to the last muskrat trap here. It looks like we got one in it. This one I'll go ahead, take out of the trap and then bring over to pack basket, and then we'll get on. Just got finished setting the ones at this house, so we got one right there where they run up on the house. And then we have this one right over here that they actually run along. So both of these are deep enough water. This one I moved a bunch of muck out of the way to make sure. So 2 sets on this house. I believe 2 sets. 1 set on the other house and then 1 on the other one. So we'll move on. I believe there's one over here at the peak, and we'll put some sets out at that one. So we got a nice solid back foot catch there. And then he wasn't gone, so we went ahead and put a 110 over him. So he's well and truly out. We'll go ahead and reset this. We'll make sure that this is nice and deep for the next rat that comes along. It is a #1 long spring, so he should have drowned, but he just had enough stuff to stand on that he was doing fine. So we'll go ahead and get this reset and keep moving on to the next one. Froze up a little bit, but most of the houses are still open water around them. So it looks like at the first one, we got this nice looking rat right here. And then the other trap that was next to this one was just set off. So we'll go ahead and get these redone here. This looks like a pretty nice rat, you know, nothing too big, just average run of the mill. Go ahead, set them in our pack basket. I'm actually going to move this over just a touch, just so I know that they won't interfere with each other. We'll go ahead and reset this one and also the other one, and we'll move on to the next hut. All right, guys, so we're at set number 4. So the first set we checked, we got that average muskrat. 2 sets, we didn't get anything, sadly. And then this is the 4th set here. And we got another nice, let's see, nice looking muskrat here. Got them in, I believe it's just a little single spring, yeah. Very good. Before we move on to the next set here, I just wanted to show you guys, this is the single spring that does not have a pan. It's just this little nub right here that gets set off. So he stepped on it just right and got it perfect. So it just shows you that any trap can go ahead and catch an animal as long as it's in the right place at the right time. So don't ever get discouraged if you don't have the best traps. We're out here checking the traps. Looks like we got a nice rat right here. Let's see, I don't want to get my gloves all wet. He got caught in the old coil spring and got all tangled up. So, worked perfect. I'm just gonna move my gloves all the way so they don't get wet when I toss them in there. Yeah, right now it's warm enough and windy enough. It's at 35 degrees right now, where the actual water isn't freezing on this pond so much, which is very nice. Let's see, he really got tangled up in all this crud that's washing across. The wind's been blowing all this stuff right across into the trap location, so it really just kind of buggers it up. And that was only a couple toe catch, so he couldn't have been alive in there too long, or else he would have broken his way out. Nice looking average muskrat. Gonna be kind of typical of what we're gonna get in this location, but thankfully we are still catching them, even though it is pretty chilly out. They're still moving, which is perfect right now, because once all this freezes up, can't really use footholds anymore unless you put them inside the huts. Just get all that moved out of the way. Right here you can see they're running up to put more stuff on top of the house for winter. And then there's also this little path that they use to go sit underneath for protection and also eat. What we're gonna do is go ahead and actually put this trap right at like the intersection of that. So we're gonna move some of this stuff all the way, make it nice and good for a trap. So right there, they're gonna run through, they're gonna get caught. They come this way, they're gonna get caught. They try going up the ramp, they're gonna get caught. So nice easy set, one that you can check pretty easy. You don't need to tie it off to anything super big. Like, all I have is a stake, been in the ground for a while. We'll push it down a little bit more, but always try to move your stake. At least for me, I try to move it more towards deep water. That way it helps push them that way, because you want them to go this way. You don't want them to just go sit back there. So yeah, we'll keep moving. Hopefully we got a couple more in the traps. This little bit of a warm spell that we're having hopefully drew them into running around a little bit more chances to catch them. So we'll keep moving on. Checking the next house. Looks like we got a average rat here, just completely destroyed this area. To be expected from them. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, they're all moving around right now because they're in panic mode. The water's going down. They're like, oh geez, half of our huts are not even in the water anymore. We need to get moving. At the next hut here, so this is probably maybe 20 yards away. I can see fur floating right here. Means we got us something. Get this pulled up. Another average looking rat. Using a 1.5 on this one actually, so he went down for the count real quick. Good areas. You just need to know where to set. Just set where it looks like they're coming up to put more stuff on the houses, or if they're sitting under something. They sit on down trees and stuff like that. Real good places. You can also use 110s on these, put them slightly in the water with like a carrot on them. They'll get caught by that. We got that trap put in the water there, exactly where it was last time. Put on my gloves just to make sure I didn't get any leeches on me. Get those off of the trap. We'll go ahead and move. I did have a trap set back in that direction, But the water is so low back there now, I don't even think that they're using that hut anymore. So I actually moved it to a very large hut on a channel over here instead. So we'll actually go ahead and check that one at this next set here. Can already tell we have something because all of that damage over there. Obviously I didn't do that. There's something fighting that trap. Go ahead, take off our pack basket, grab our gloves out, move these gloves to the side. Today's turning out to be a pretty decent day, at least for rats. But this one set off trap, so it could have been 5, but let's see where this thing is. And this guy was caught in that 1.5 coil as well. Really good traps if you have them and you're not using them for raccoons at the time. Really good rat sets. They just take them down real quick. I should wash this guy off a little bit. Yeah, decent looking rat. Get all the water off that we can. Always try to dry off your fur the best you can. I always put them in the back of my truck on the way home so they get air dried pretty well. Another average rat, you know. They don't call them average for nothing, you know. You're gonna catch a lot of average. Yeah, 5 rats for 2 days for the traps that we had set out is pretty good, I would say. Well, mostly average rats. This one's the biggest right here. But yeah, I would say that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. If you guys have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave it down below. As always, let me know how your guys' season is going. I really enjoy hearing about it.